God.
All sorts of retrograde problems.
Oh my God. So tell me about this. I don't keep track of this stuff
You don't have
at
to.
all. And because I don't like it to affect my reality. So I try not to stay a whole lot into that. Oh, this is coming or that's coming. Right.
Right.
So, but you say that. And then I just came back from Target and I withdraw $20, right? After I'm done, I withdrew $20. I get to my car. I forgot to grab the $20. I go back and it's gone. The person behind me took the $20.
It's like, thanks.
So it's like, and now you say, oh, it's Mercury retrograde. And I'm, oh.
It's like, yeah, it's good to have it as an afterthought. I think that's a very healthy relationship with astrology and the planets. Because like if you do start getting it anticipatory and like into the predictions, you start creating them, But when when you get to the point where like, why is everything going crazy? And then like you see like then you notice or then you consult the stars or see what energies are going on there. I think that's a healthier relationship to have with them. Because sometimes it can get into that like doom. The retrograde, there's a whole psyop on retrogrades and like how they do unravel everything. They do increase the need of attention, your need to pay attention, like heighten awareness.
Yes, because that's exactly what happens though. I didn't pay attention. I wasn't in the now moment when I should have been.
You were thinking about that's normal. This is like this is our nature to start thinking about other stuff. Staying present is like holding a crunch.
It's very, very, very hard.
It's like holding a crunch position and just like staying there and like trying to fight and stay there. And it takes a lot of like the mental kind of like muscle of like, I'm going to enjoy every second and be here. It's so easy for our brain to just like float into what's happening and what happened. And, that's kind of where we get into trouble. But so there's 7 planets going into retrograde.
So do me a favor, like you're in the corner of the camera. I'm like trying to watch you and you're over here. And I'm like,
wait, I'm on the iPad. I told you.
Right. Yeah.
It's
there we go.
Usually I'm on my laptop. Okay. Usually I'm on my laptop when we're talking. And I'm just, staying on my toes with these planets, with these planetary energy that I don't know exactly who they are. All of them off the top of my head, but I know it's a massive amount and it's going to be felt. And it's also timed hand in hand with Gaia going inward with the fall season. Does it feel in Florida? You don't have a lot of seasons, but it's always just nice. It's always just really nice. But do you have any indicators of fall, spring, anything like that? Any shifts?
We do, but it's not until it starts getting cold at night. So I would say maybe in November. It's like later on, right? When it starts getting cold at night.
Whoa. Yeah. How interesting. It's so interesting.
Even December.
Mm-hmm. Really? And it's not even that far away from me. What am I doing? Why am I still here? The Northeast is like...
And let me tell you, if you move out of DC, you don't have to pay taxes. The only people that have to pay taxes are the people that in the DC, because the only United States of America corporation.
What?
I found this out. Yeah, taxes are voluntary for everybody who's in the 50 states except for DC.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
So what about? That's bizarre. My mind is leaking. Hold on. My mind is just like pouring out of my ears.
Your eyes went like almost like I don't comprehend. I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend. Like what?
What? Let's. Okay. That's why don't they tell us this stuff? Of course.
Oh, meltdown. Yeah.
I know you're currently watching me like integrate, like accepting, can't really deal with it. Okay. Voluntary taxes.
Yes.
You know, so many people are like locked up for tax evasion that should not be then. Because how can you
They're not.
evade something that's
So,
voluntary?
so I did tarot cards. Remember Wesley Snipes, who supposedly went to jail because of tax evasion?
Right.
He didn't. It was just the fake media.
They make like a big scapegoat with a
Yes,
celebrity.
it
Of
was
course, they make
a
it
lie.
a celebrity. Like, who cares? Right. And then, like, that now we have this consciousness anchor point of remember Wesley
Uh-huh.
Snipes. If
Yep.
you don't pay your taxes, you'll go to jail like Wesley Snipes. It's so stupid. The more that I get to like, the more that you learn about this reality, it's like everything is a psyop. But then I
It
get into
is.
these conversations with my guides, and they're like, well, because that's like the fabric of the third dimension is you create whatever you want. And some beings have realized that and they've taken advantage of it. They created what they wanted at your, at your tax expense. And they're just waiting for you to catch on. That's all it
Yep.
really takes. It's
Yeah.
not like there's
And
going to be a big resistance. All you have to be
yeah.
like, hey, I see you. And then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you win.
Yeah. And the thing is, they are there for our growth. They're actually
Exactly.
there for us to grow from. So
Exactly.
this is all on purpose. It's for all of us to grow and to seek knowledge and,
Right.
and really
Exactly.
just,
And
yeah,
that's why Yeshua the Christ said, bless your enemies, because they're helping you. They've been choreographed to help you. They've been choreographed every time you have some challenge or something in your life that you don't agree, makes you uncomfortable. That was sent to you on purpose in this dimension. In this dimension, like all your challenges are like cultivating growth. So you should just go into them, and say, thank
yeah.
you. What's next? Or higher self. I don't really want to have this lesson. that's what I that's what I do. I'm like, I don't really feel like learning this today. Can we learn something else? Can we
So
focus
what
on something
happens when
else?
you do that? What happens when you do that?
It's usually a big no. You're like, we can
Uh-huh.
skip it. Yeah, we can skip it, but it'll be right there tomorrow. No problem.
Oh yeah, and it's double worse.
And now it's doubled. It's so silly. That's so funny. Yeah. So pay attention when we're in these portals. But yet know that everything that is happening, that's unraveling, right? That's when you're showing up and you're like, oh, curse the stars, it's the retrograde. Just be like, wait, the retrograde's trying to show me something. Let me pay attention. Right? You had a $20 lesson today. Thank God it was only $20.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, thank God I didn't take out $100.
Exactly. Imagine if you had like $700 sitting just like walked away. That's amazing. That's amazing. So now you're going to be hyper aware, but not afraid. Just like extra aware of what's going on. It's planet Earth. She's like quietly beginning to in places where there's seasons beginning to like lose her leaves. The leaves are kind of already starting to turn. Like the winds are picking up. It's like
Wow.
in the Indian cultures and the Vedic cultures, the fall is associated with the air element and the prana and the breath. And so things start getting more internal, like you start seeing the behind the scenes of things. So I think it's perfect timing with the retrograde, because that also wants you to go within and like get better and get prettier and shinier. And then in the summer, you can show off everything that you learned in meditation or whatever it was. So I don't know. I think that we can utilize the backward inertia of the retrograde, that all energy is all neutral. So it's just to be utilized, like just use it. If there's like a slingshot pulling backwards, right? You can kind of like harness that energy and channel it to whatever aspect of your life you want it to like spring forward with. I think that's how you can empower the retrograde, because it is like it can be a scary time. You don't want to leave your house.
Yeah, and that's interesting. That's interesting. Again, like since I don't know it's happening, I just,
Right.
go about my business, but I think it's like you say, it's a way to empower us and make it our own, because
Right.
we also can say, I will not allow the Mercury retrograde to affect my reality.
That's all you have to say. right? Or if I can actually like utilize these energies and say I would like to use the energy of the Mercury retrograde to like ascend me or open up this or reveal this to me or something, you know, we're given kind of like these channels and portals of energy, and everybody puts their own lens on it, right? But it's just the awareness that it's happening, that it's there, and then you can use it. I know everybody's, oh God, how many people are talking about the Queen? How many messages about the Queen have you gotten? That's
Several already.
like
And they're like, what's going to happen now? And I'm like, I don't know. It supposedly it was a marker. Maybe have you asked your guides to see if
I've just been kind of listening to the ether and like my resonance with it, and it's all just,
well, it's a movie.
That's what it is. And what happens is your energy, when you pay attention to something, like even the verbiage is just, you're giving it something, you're paying it, like it's currency. It's the true currency. We're all just kind of pretending to agree that money is real, to work with that expression of energy, but the truth energy is attention. Even interest, the word interest, if you have interest in something, it's also a monetary word. Like something can collect interest. Or like when you spend time, when you're spending the money of time, like you paying attention to something in etheric realms is feeding it, and it allows it to have more of a stable grounding and controlling you. So just the fact that the whole like world is like, she died, like everybody knows at the same time. Like billions of people are talking about this one soul. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of energy that soul is generating and utilizing.
Yeah.
These being, I know a lot of people like are into the white hats and the regressives and the reptilians and the draconians, and what is she, and is she a clone, and it's a consciousness. It's a consciousness, it's an entity, and it's using your energy, and it has been forever. Like let's just say forever, since, if you want to say she's Anunnaki or Sumerian, and then all the monarchs kind of can get traced back through this bloodline, even the presidential ones. And like, what is their goal? What do they want? What are they doing with us? They want your attention. They want your consciousness.
Your energy. Absolutely.
They want your energy.
Yeah.
Right. So like, that's all it is. If you want to give it to them, sure. If you don't. I mean, if I said, yes, the Queen is a reptilian and she's going into her newly generated body and she's going to be resuming the position and blah 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 blah, and you would go, and it wouldn't change your day. It wouldn't change what you did. It wouldn't make you go to Britain and protest the reptilians. You're not going to do anything about it. You're going to go and then like text millions of people about it and retext and repost. And then it's just the same attention getting fed to that one consciousness. It's the same energy, whether it's negative or positive, it still feeds that being. So I think just don't even, you know what I mean? There's a lot of curiosity on this planet because of, how things have been so kept away from us about like the truth. So I think the truth can become something that is you get eager for, right? Like, this is big. She left her body. Like, what does that mean? What are they going to do next? What does that mean for me? And when you're creating your reality, when you're in this position of awareness, of awakened state, of enlightenment, you know that I'm creating this reality. This being doesn't have any control over me. So I don't care. What do I care about? Then start getting to that. Like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do today? Instead of spending 2 hours going through like Telegram and WhatsApp about the Queen and
what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Right. And what's next. And that's all the same source is getting fed through that. The same source. I think it's cool. I think if you're like coming in from that state of like just like seeking knowledge more so than like seeking scandal, I think it's cool to be aware, but don't let these things take over your life. Like the monarchs they just get away with everything in plain sight. It's crazy. The British monarchs, like, they don't have last names. and like nobody asks questions about that. Like, why do I have a last name? And why don't you have a last name? Like, why are you allowed to just be Victoria? Right? Your last name is kind of like your slave collar. It's like you're who you belong to, right? On this planet, if you think about it that way. And they don't have that. They don't have anything that, like, my last name is Jackson because the avatar that I'm holding, the DNA of that avatar's peoples were slaves. And when they came to this place, they had to adopt the name of their owner. So like it was really like the son of Jack. So that's why a lot of Black people have this Johnson, Jackson, whatever other
Oh,
son last name, right?
really?
Because
Oh,
you
I
just
didn't
became
know that.
right. You just became part of their lineage. And there's like a lot of soul contracts that go along with belonging to someone and going into their lineage and feeding your energy to them. Right. It's
Wow.
bizarre.
Wow. Well, there's so much I've been learning about your name and about the names that have been placed on our birth certificate.
Really? I want to know about this. The
Yeah.
birth
Oh my
certificate has
God.
always been a thing with me. Like, what is it? Why do
So
I
if
need
I
it?
told you, uh, it's a long story, and I'm not an expert on it yet, so I would feel weird to talk about
Okay.
it. But I would like to just say that there's this book that I read. It's literally, I don't know, 50 pages. I mean, it's the pamphlet.
Okay.
Call it Your Straw Man. Meet Your Straw Man.
I've heard of this, but I never read it.
So basically, the when you are born, it has to do with maritime law and land, the law of the air, the law of the land, the law of the sea, maritime.
Mhm.
And what they did is they created this hokey thing where when you're born, you are lost at sea. They take you and you are now lost at sea. So to represent you, they put the name in all caps. And then what they do is there's a trust fund that was created for you, and they're dipping on that trust fund. It's called the Sesta KV Trust Fund of 1666.
Oh,
Yep.
that just made my whole energy like,
Yep.
well.
Yep. And so what they do is they uh, basically they sell you as a commodity.
Okay.
They sell you as a commodity, and now
Why
you
not?
are like part of like a stock market. You're a stock. You are a commodity. You're being sold, and we are all slaves. Yes, absolutely. And every time they use your social security number, they are literally dipping into your fund.
Isn't this great? Isn't Earth so much
So they're
fun?
double dipping. They're double dipping. They're like when you send your mortgage, let's say it's $1,500 to the bank, they're getting $1,500 from your trust fund.
Wow.
So they're double dipping, and they're charging you interest.
There it is.
On the money.
And this is so funny to me. It's like they must. It's just it's so stupid. And here's another me integrating, just like the same thing I did earlier. I'm still like, what? That's how it is when like you start tapping into your consciousness starts expanding beyond what you're shown, and you start digging. It like the rabbit hole never ends. It like never freaking ends.
It never ends. But what I'm doing is I'm taking control of mine, and I'm going after them. So I've sent what's called a W-4 sandwich to the IRS requesting that these companies be audited, and they give me the money they have taken from my fund.
I'm going to put some protection around you, sis. You're going to piss some people off.
Oh, you don't understand. This has been ongoing for a while, and people are now finding out that other people have been doing this.
Right.
And so now it's like before I help others get there, I wanted to do mine to make sure that it works.
Right.
And then if it does work, then I'm going to go on video and go, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. But right now I'm testing the waters to see what happens. But I am no longer scared of the IRS. They are an illegal entity. And as far as I'm concerned, they're going to go away anyway.
Okay.
And I've seen videos of their headquarters completely empty,
Wow.
completely empty. No
Wow.
one alive in their headquarters.
Okay.
So they have been shifted to the treasury, and all of this we found out through the tarot show that I have, right? And
Right.
so we threw the cards to see, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Is this true? And so
Mhm.
we're finding out that they moved them to the treasury. So now the treasury is really running the IRS. So the good guys, okay?
Mhm.
It's moved on to the good guys. And this video I saw of the IRS building had the Illuminati freaking pyramid in front of the building.
All you have to do is look. That's it. Like all you have to do is look, and you'll be very surprised how obvious who's running this show is. Like if you look at just Google what's on the doors of the libraries of Congress. I'll just leave that for you to see. You'll be like, come on, it's
It's all
everywhere.
there. It's all there.
It has to be. In a way, it
Yep.
has to be for it to exist. And all you really need to do is start looking, but then you have to start like acting on it. That's my biggest deal. My big
Yes.
is like, you have all this information. This is the age of information. We can get information dementia. Like it can collapse your psyche from staring at Instagram all day and like
Oh,
reading, reading
yeah.
and reading and reading and looking
Yeah.
and like the human consciousness is not supposed to. It loves to. The mind loves to like suck in all of the images that it can, but your consciousness can't do anything with it. You're like filling your subconscious with garbage, and then you're run by these weird things. It's yeah. I just want people to start like actively living like they're sovereign instead of just reading about being sovereign and like what does that
Exactly.
mean
And
to you?
what's funny though? I did a video with one of my clients who had become a state national, which means that you become of the land and not of the sea. You're no longer lost at sea, basically,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I did a whole show on this and I did not take action. I was like, oh, well, they're gonna, we don't need that because Trump's gonna come and he's gonna save the world, whatever, right?
Right.
And now this thing keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm like, I am not standing up and telling the universe, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because I didn't proceed. I didn't go through to be a state national, which
Exactly.
I've decided now I'm doing this. I'm doing the work. I'm doing the W4 sandwiches. I'm going to be a state national. I'm changing my name, blah, 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 blah. And the reason I want to do it is for the universe to understand I am no longer going to be part of this 3D matrix bullshit.
Right. I don't believe in it. I'm gone. I'm over it. It's done. Right. And then I totally feel what you're saying. Don't wait. You are the savior. You are the star seeds. You are the savior. You're who's here to save this place. So don't wait for help. Right.
Yeah.
Like don't
Yeah.
wait for, the thing. You can call on all the energies that are available to you. And because you are of different dimensions, you can call on higher energies. You have an advantage. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
not? Why
Yeah.
not act on it? And you're supposed to be acting on it.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. That's the idea. It's almost like it's me going to the universe going like, no, I no longer belong to this 3D matrix. I'm standing up to it. I am no
Good.
longer the slave to the system. And that's the
Right.
only really the reason I'm doing it is for that. It's for the
I
universe to
wonder
get the point.
I wonder if that's why, like, even this is another thing with the lady who just left us, the queen. She has, I think several of them do. She has two birthdays. So I wonder if that has to do with that straw man thing. There's one birthday that the whole world celebrates, and they've just agreed it's like the second Monday of June. It's another weird thing. Like we just celebrate her birthday on the second Monday of June. It's very pagan. It's very
Oh,
ritualistic. Like it's very we all having this like field of joy that we're creating for you on your birth. Like that, that's another thing that gives energy. But her real birthday is April 21st, which is like first day of Taurus, which has
interesting.
a lot of inclinations there, a lot of hits there. It's the 111th day of the year, right? So they pick like the angel numbers, all the numeral matrix things of this world that you can utilize and work yourself. They've been working with them and telling you that it's magic and don't touch it. You know what I mean? And that's the devil. Stay away from it. Don't look at any of that stuff. Like, just pray to God every Sunday and do whatever you
Yeah.
want and like keep paying your taxes. Like, it's such kind of laughable now. But like, so the a lot of the monarchs, they will induce birth on these portal days. Like, they will have that's why the queen's pregnancy is like such a big deal. Like, or any of the lesser royals' pregnancies are like watched. And even back in the day, they had audiences, like when the queen would give birth, and they would do all these things to try to induce birth on like equinox days or eclipse days or like full moon days or anything that's like a crisscross of energy in the universe, so they can have more power in their field, right? So they know about the birthdays, and they know about, they have it like down to the minute and the second now with when the next royal is born, and like, so what energy is he working with. They even work with the birth charts of conception. So like when there's like a royal who gets married, they have to like write down every time they have sex and like
What?
might have created a child. They have to like log that. it's like a machinely, it's like a finely run machine, right? So the queen's
Wow.
actual birth, that she picked the 111th day of the year because of that frequency of the 111, like, and she picked the first day that Aries turns into Taurus, because that's also another portal. I'm interested. I haven't had a chance to look at the stats, but I'm interested in what's going on today. I know all these planets going on in retrograde. It's like, it's a good day to generate some attention around your field. I don't know, man. I've always wondered, like, why does she have 2 birthdays? So maybe she's like getting away with some of this lost at sea mess. I'm looking into this as soon as we're done talking.
So actually, I still have it open. It's let me see. Go to states.americanstatenationals.org. States.americanstatenationals.org.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
in there it says chart your course, and that's where the videos are that explain what each thing is.
Okay.
On how to become a state national. But in there, it tells you this whole story about how they moved you to be, like you left at sea. So now they have your money. And,
Wow.
And so your name is in capital letters because it's legalese.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like when they put like every Lord in the Bible is all caps. Have you seen that? Every time they write Lord, the rest of the sentence is spelled with like lowercase and uppercase like normal. But every time Lord is in the Bible, it's all caps. Like somebody just like literally like cut, copy, paste.
So your name might be like your whole name in caps or just your last name. So what I found out is that because I was born in Panama, but my mom made me a citizen of the Canal Zone at that time, my first and middle name are lowercase, but my last name is uppercase. So guess what? I have Panama and the US dipping on my fund.
That's so funny. I wonder. That's okay. I'm so curious now.
Yep. Yeah.
Was it hard to do the things that you did, like filing whatever it was?
No, once I figured out what the hard thing is to find out the EIN number of the company, which it's not mandatory, but it helps to have it. So the best way to find an EIN number is if you ever had like an IRS form sent to you, like a 1099 or some other kind of form. If not, you have to call them and ask them for their EIN number. So,
okay.
And the Department of Motor.
Why do you want to know?
Even the Department of Motor Vehicles is a private entity. You do not have to pay registration for your car.
It's so much that they like, just to have the privilege of having a vehicle, you have to go through so many hoops. Mm-hmm. No wonder. Oh, interesting.
So right now you're owned. You are owned. We are all slaves.
It's hard to convince people of that because I think it can be like crushing, and then also like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? And because it is like an a disconnected kind of ownership field of this reality, just hoping that you don't realize what you are, just hoping that you don't realize what it is. All you really have to do is realize. And that's like, I think why enlightenment is called self-realization. Like I see now, right? And now I can like maneuver freely. There's nothing to be afraid of, right? I think a lot of us are worried about like going up against a monster. You know, I can't talk about whatever I'm going through or what I see or how I feel, because I'm going to be like met by these forces that want to take me down. But if you have that like realization within you of what you are, then you know, like, I control this. You can't take me down. I can just change my thought about it.
Yeah, you are God. You are the creator. You think God the creator would go to jail because he didn't pay his taxes?
I am thinking about the tax man in the cartoon Robin Hood. Have you ever seen the Robin Hood with the foxes, the Disney Robin Hood? They had like a mean, fat, like nasty wolf who went around and collected taxes. And I was thinking about that. I was like, that's how they did it back then. Like, they would like bust in your house and like demand money. If you didn't have it, like they were taking something, and you're gonna get like hurt or something like that. It's like, it's such like, we are run by literal thugs.
Oh, you know what you need to do? Oh my God, Zoe.
What?
There is a new movie documentary that's on YouTube. I'm shocked that they've left it there. It's called Zeitgeist, the Addendum. When you watch that, you are going to freak out.
I don't need to freak out anymore. I freak out like 17 times a day.
Actually, it's about mortgages. So but what it explains basically is that the what they're lending you is not, it's not real cash. So you're giving them cash for fake cash, and it explains how it works. And when you see it, you're going to be like, wow.
Right.
Wow.
So what do we do? Do we just stop paying mortgages?
Yes.
If you get you get pulled over by the police and they're like, where's your registration? You're like, I don't have to have one. Like, you know, these are the things that come up in your mind when you want to.
Yeah. So what they say is
reality.
Yeah. What they say is, don't do it until you know it up and down, so that if it does come to you, if the police stops you, you know the lingo to say, and then you're fine. Because the police are here to enforce policy.
Okay.
So they are in charge. They are here to enforce policy of the corporation.
Okay. So that's interesting. So you just have to learn the language of the spell.
Yeah.
That's all
And
it is.
And
legal
the same
jargon
thing
is just like a magical spell.
With courts and stuff. I did you tell me you went to court back in the days of like when you were, before you healed yourself?
Yeah, I've been to court.
Okay. The money you can get from the courts, from the judge, they're bankers. So judge are bankers. The money you can get from the bankers, the lawyers, you just on that is millions.
Judges are bankers?
They're collecting on you.
How interesting. This is all so interesting. I love this retrograde. Okay. I have to take notes. I'm gonna ask you to just like text me all. I'm just gonna have to like rewatch this or text it to me. All these things. So, oh my God, I don't have time for this awakening. I don't have time for all this freedom. Oh my God, the freedom is too much. It's like so much to do, right? When I'm just like clawing along in the old ways of doing things. That's been coming up for me a lot, of like racing and scrambling to do things has kind of stopped for me. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like so coming into alignment that I don't feel that like urgency. And I also don't feel how hurt. Usually the urgency I would have for doing things was coming because I was like, I really didn't want to disappoint somebody. I just like, I really didn't, I could feel them like building anxiety and anger towards me about like waiting for whatever it was that I was supposed to give them, like an activation or a meditation or a mantra or something like this. And now it's like, just when you've let that go, it's just weird. It's weird to operate within this space time when you're losing the 1, 2, 3 of it, like the line of it.
Yes.
It's like you're kind of creating the time, because when you let go of the feeling, like the fear, you realize nothing really ever happens. Like there's nothing that you should have worried about.
Exactly.
Like nothing's happening. I'm making this feeling. I'm
Yes.
generating this feeling over something that's not actually happening. These false realities trick us all the time. Like I work with so many women who are in relationships with men that they do not like to be with, and vice versa. So many couples where they're just like, I'm really unhappy with this person. But in their mind, they're waiting for this person to be what they wanted, what they imagined them to be. So like, I'm going to keep being disappointed because I'm waiting for this image of you, and what's showing up is actually you, but I'm staying here for years because I'm falling for my own hypnosis. Like, do you hear how like crazy it sounds? Crazy, right? When you say it like that, it sounds like, well, no wonder we get fucked with. Well, no wonder that, like, that there's beings that are like, let's take advantage of them. They're not paying attention. So at the same time, it comes back to like, are they helping you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. All your challenges are helping you progress and change and get better.
Absolutely. That's what I think we did, is when we came into the simulation to grow our soul, it was like the video game, right? That choice. And it was like, oh, I'll pick the one where the whole world will change, I'll have the most lessons in video game, and you pull out the video game, and it's this one where you start in the 3D matrix and you got to get out of the matrix. That's the video game, right? That's right. The end goal of the video game.
It is.
So, yeah.
To realize it's a game, to figure it out.
Yep.
Well, that's not the end. That's not the end at all.
That's part of the game. It's definitely a part of the game.
It's part when the game gets fun. I feel like that's the most that I feel from the earth herself, from our celestial guides, from angelic realms, that like all these things are open to you, and you're convincing yourself that it's not. Like even those spiritual realms are open to you, but you've convinced yourself that they're not. Right? Even like I want to see the angels. I want, how hungry we are to have these interdimensional experiences. And it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that it's right in front of you. Right? I know you've been having experiences. The last time we talked, you said you were seeing a lot of things behind the scenes kind of imagery. Is that still happening?
Yeah. Although I haven't done it in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you haven't had ceremony in a while?
I haven't had time because I was getting the house ready to sell.
Oh, okay. It's so interesting you're telling me about mortgages, because I just got one. I just got a freaking house.
So you did?
Yeah. And now you're like, mortgages aren't real. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, because that's so crazy. That would be nice, right? To like buy a house and be like, oh, by the way, I'm not paying for this. By the way, I'm not going to pay a penny for any of it.
So did you buy it in DC?
No, I bought a house in Philadelphia because I wanted to be closer to my oldest. Yeah, my oldest boy lives there. So I wanted to be like, so I'm out of DC, which means I have the voluntary taxes. Right?
Yes.
Okay. You just liberated me. You just liberated me from a mortgage Everyone's complaining about property taxes. Like buying a house is like a whole new subculture that I did not even know existed. I didn't know about any of these people. I've had to talk to so many people about things that I was like, you don't just give someone money and they give you keys to the house. Like, what is all of these people that I'm talking to all the time and like emailing information? It seems like a big, like a lot of red tape set up to just to deter people. Because I was about to be like, this is too hard. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think there's a level of energy that most people like in my economic class who are going from renting to owning would be like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of work a lot of proof of things and stuff like that. I think there's like, I don't know. I just sometimes think that they set up these little boundaries around different experiences. And it's just really having the inertia to get through sitting still and talking to people and communicating. I don't know. Having a house is weird. You're selling your house. Where are you going to move?
I don't know.
Okay. You don't know. You're just going to be in the breeze.
Somewhere local. But I just want to get the equity out of the house that it has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay. When you leave, how long did you live in that house?
6 years.
6 years, right? So you're really like connected more than you think, probably, with the land grid that was under you. So like, do you have a kind of a communication with the land that you live on or the house that you live in? Because that's a consciousness too.
Yeah, no, I had not until I did the plant medicine, and then I saw the beings that created the house. They were on it, and I saw them on the concrete. Like, I was like,
right.
Oh my God.
So they've been like supporting you and protecting you the whole time. Maybe not so much in awareness, but like just loving your family and you. So sometimes when you're leaving, you like want to just leave them something, or even just speak to them or burn something for them nice, and then reconnect with the like new energies of wherever you're going. I think it's important. I think especially if you're moving into, well, I think it's just important, period. I was going to say, if you're moving into an older house, definitely connect with the energies of that home and like say like, who's been here, who's been living in here. Like, I would like to also have an experience living in here and taking stewardship of this house. I think that is important for starseeds and any of you guys, high vibrational beings, to know, because you're so sensitive to energies. It could just feel like a haunting, right? Or like weird stuff happens in my house, or bad energies in my house. I know a lot of people feel like the home is the portal of like these weird things coming through. I think sometimes you just need to begin conversation with them. Like, you can, just be like, I can't see you, but I know you guys are here. My name is blah, blah, blah. What's up? I've been here for like, don't say your last name. Don't say your slave name. That's blowing my mind about the straw man thing. I'm so distracted. Like, I had a whole plan of like talking about the fall, and I'm just like, now I'm just seeing myself lost at sea. I'm like, there's a representation of me lost at sea. Like, I have to go save it. It's so bizarre, this world.
Yeah, bizarre world. I did post on the chat. I posted the YouTube link to the Zeitgeist, the addendum that I was telling you about. It's in there, so people can go watch it and freak out.
Watch it before YouTube takes it down.
Yeah, but it's been there for a while, so I don't know. I mean, it's yeah. But I want to talk to you about this was a post that Jacka had when we started about mission. Oh, maybe we talked about this before. Did we talk about these new mission things you're doing, these maps?
Oh, the mission map? Yeah.
Yes.
I think we talked about it.
Okay.
I think we talked about it. The astrocartography, I can talk about it again. Now people have been getting them, so it's interesting to see how they interact with the information. So they're just the astrocartography, which is the connection of planets to the Earth on the moment of your birth. The lines of connection that's made through the planet holds energy for you that's specifically attuned to who you are. And so, like, if you return to these places or energetically connect to these places, you kind of receive an attunement within your auric field that supports you or doesn't, if it's like Mars or Saturn or something like that. But this listing I created was shown to me through the lens of the Arcturians when I was connecting with these 3 Arcturian beings who kept bringing up astrocartography to me. And finally I got what they were trying to show me. Sometimes I'm like, I'm too dumb for this. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to explain to me. Like, find somebody else. But they were like showing me how it would be different for the lens of somebody who's volunteering, a soul that's having a volunteer experience versus a soul that is just having an incarnational experience, development of refining their self. Like, somebody who's like purposely backtracking would have a really different way of reading their lines and explaining what they would leave for their self strategically along these different places, and how easy it is for starseeds to remote view and connect through imagery and connect through etheric webs, more so than, sometimes it's hard to get to, like, the South Pole. I don't know, weird stuff like that. But it's like, so we're doing these charts and showing people, like, this is your Venus line. This is where you can connect with goddess energy. You have heavy Lemurian indicators. Like, it's so obvious sometimes. All the lines end up in a lump in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, like on time, only on showing up on like volcanic little islands and stuff. And I'm like, so this is all about like your Lemurian codes. And then sometimes it'll be like, I don't know, like just dotted through the south of France, which has like heavy ties to like Magdalene energy, or like things showing up. It's different for starseeds than it is a regular astrocartography reading, where it would just be like, you'll fall in love here. You can make a lot of money in Texas. You should go on vacation in Egypt. You know what I mean?
Okay,
right?
So I saw that. Okay, I saw somebody at the conference who was doing that. So there's different maps, and you like different lines depending on where you are. So it tells you. Okay, cool.
That's exactly it. Like, as soon as you come out in this field, when you take your first breath of the oxygen in this planet, that's like a snapshot, like, of the Earth, and that's your natal chart. Like, that's what your natal chart is. When you went, then all of the cosmic energies that were like aligned in that moment, like imprinted into your field, right? And that's why you get these amazing accuracies happening. And that's on purpose. That's also by design for your soul. But the same thing happens to the planet. So like the planet's also in the solar system getting hit by different cosmic energies along different alignments at all times. And it's very specific to when you first inhaled, when you first took that deep breath, and like what was happening on that planet holds. And it's kind of what created your avatar and your auric field. So say, for instance, Venus was at its midheaven zenith point touching Egypt when I first took a deep breath on this planet, when I first came out of my mother, then that land would hold that imprint for you. So like if you went there with that kind of correlation in your auric field, it would activate it. It would just activate the Venus energies, which is a really pleasant energy to work with, because Venus is like love and luxury and money and romance and all that stuff that we want in our earthly lives. So it's nice to have that support to be able to do that. So a lot of people can't get there, but because you are metaphysical geniuses, alchemical starseeds, you can connect through imagery. You can connect through the sound currents held in the land, through the music, through the food, through the, all sorts of things. If you hold the intention and use the vibration, then there's just been a lot of interesting things that are happening, especially in alignment with missions, with like spiritual gifts and all the stuff that we like to talk about.
Wow. So yeah, Shanna is here, which is a surprise because she's in PSD, but it's that we saw it in Shasta, and she tried to get a reading before this, and it just never jived with this woman. It was always like somebody there or something. So I'm excited because I know that she was looking for this service.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
So
somebody was that it just wasn't in alignment at that time,
yes,
maybe. Yeah, it might. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I notice like you'll notice just things keep happening and you'll never meet a person. Do you ever feel like that with your clients? Like you always are out of alignment with them. Sometimes like you miss each other.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes. Remember, I'm retired now. I got the good life.
I thought you were doing the specific
Well,
readings.
I only get one a month.
Okay. So you can still completely be in bliss state.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's weird. It's exciting, but you're like completely unplugging from the matrix and just doing things in alignment with how the energies come to you. Like that shows up so much with me about being still and letting things come to me instead of running and chasing and running and chasing and running and chasing. Oh, I got to do this before, and just becoming like developing myself. So like things that I need can just kind of, I think that's part of the vibratory state of the star seeds and why they find that they can manifest easier and maybe even embrace the concept of manifestation easier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, when I used to have the business, I clearly heard out in nature and go relax. You will get more business that way than if you stay home and send emails out. I heard it clearly. Just be and not do. Just stop doing and start being.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I started doing. I was
It's
just
so
like,
counterintuitive.
hey, you don't have to beg me to stop working. Oh.
Right. I guess it's not counterintuitive. It's so counterintellectual from like what we think is like, I still totally judge myself by how much I do. And I'm trying to get out of that.
Oh
That's
my
like really hard.
God. Let me tell you, Zoe, that's still hard for me. If I wake up during the day and have nothing to do, my stomach starts hurting.
Oh,
That's messed up. That's
I
messed
know.
up.
That's how conditioned we are to like, that's a like slavery genetics. That's a slavery mindset. Like I will get in trouble if I don't work for my master today.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And I'm telling you, I have to work at it every morning. My eyes open, my stomach starts hurting. And I'm like,
I'm so sorry for laughing. I see you like, why is this happening to me? This is so stupid. Yeah.
It is. It is. Why would my stomach hurt about having free time and having freedom? How fucked up
Oh, you
is
need to
that?
talk to your body. Just talk to your body. Just look at your stomach and be like, you are allowed to be happy. You are allowed to relax. Nothing's going to happen to you. We are fed. We're never going to starve. I tell my body stuff all the time. I like blew out like the whole right side of my face. I don't know if you can see it, but I have like, it's all like swollen here. I don't know how. I wanted to see if there is a dimension beyond the 12th. I was so curious, and I think I meditated I popped my head. I don't know what's happening. I think I broke something, and I told my guides I need help, and I'm getting kind of like sniggered at, I think, by my higher self. I don't know what this is, but like my lymph node is like swollen. I've been doing a lot of yoga for the lymphatic system. The more I learn about the design of this body, the more I'm like blown away by it. It's just the technology is too sophisticated almost.
It is. It's the same as this reality and the simulation. The technology is.
We don't know what to do with it. It's like you gave me a quantum computer and I'm like banging on a tree or something, like this body's kind of crazy. And I get why. So a lot of galactics talk about this, about like the mixtures of genetics that happen in the human avatar. And Even ancient texts say like angels covet the human avatar, like they, because of
Yeah.
the things that you can do in this body. And I always kind of took that to mean like karmically, like you can get a lot of done for your soul here because it's challenging and you have to like bear it. But I think they meant like what it can do, what it can actually do. There's so many things that we have. I just have no idea of like what we're capable of. The more that we learn about energy and how it's working within the system and not just the system itself, I think that's gonna blow out of the water. I don't know. You think that this is getting better though. You get that feeling. Do you think it's getting better before it gets worse?
What do you mean?
The
The
whole
simulation?
collective. No, just
The
like the
collective.
whole consciousness as a collective. Like, do you feel
Yes,
like
no, I definitely feel like we are waking up. People are waking up. People are starting to see what's happening. And really, it's right now, it's a movie. It's been a movie for several years. I didn't realize this, but it has been a movie for a while. And it's for people to wake the F up. And they were taking a long time to wake up. And I think that's why now they've moved into this space of like, okay, we just need to do it the hard way, which is, the EBS. But I feel like EBS is not going to happen everywhere. So, it, and the good thing is you moved out of one of the cities that you were supposed to get out of, because good things are not going to be happening there.
oh, I can feel it.
Yes. So you got out just in time. You got out just in
Yeah.
time.
DC felt like I lived in a soup of black magic, like at all
Oh,
times. DC felt like I just like hidden sorcery everywhere.
oh
Everywhere. It's like hidden
wow.
symbols, obelisks. There's just an Egyptian obelisk in the middle of the place. Like the domes of the, even like it's like set up on a big pentagram and the pentagon. It's all just like when you're in DC, it all feels very heavy. Just
Yeah.
stepping outside of DC to Maryland, it's like it's lighter here. I noticed a lot of people notice that about America in general. When they leave, when they fly off of the United States, they can breathe. They feel like lighter. They feel like
That's
energetically.
true. That's very true.
And then when they come back, they're like, it's heavy again. And that's that
Mhm.
grid, that kind of like reversal grid that's sucking, sucking, sucking. It's just, and when you live in it, when you grow up in it, you don't even realize it's there until you leave. And then you're like, oh, you think you're just on vacation and happy because you're on vacation. Like it's
Right.
the whole energetic system around you's changed. They have it a lot easier in some places. We chose interesting missions.
Yeah.
Just very interesting ones.
Yeah. And before I go, because I want to make sure you're not using them, are you using the AirPods?
Oh, I got like bootleg ones.
Okay. Well, I don't know if those do that, but I have an
But the
EMF
master
reader.
slave connection through the brain, is that what you're talking about?
And no, I saw a video that somebody took the AirPods, put the EMF reader on it, a measuring thingy for electromagnetic radiation,
Mm.
and the shit went off on with the AirPods. So I'm like, okay, because I don't believe anything anymore that I see. So I have an EMF reader. I went and did it, opened the thing, and my EMF reader goes beep, 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 like
Whoa.
freaking out. And I'm like, oh shit. So
Whoa,
I
okay.
threw him away.
Yeah, thank you. I wonder if it just the iPod, the Apple ones, because I don't have the Apple ones. Maybe I shouldn't risk it at all. Uh-oh. Oh no, you've frozen. Well, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm gonna go because Elisa froze. I love everybody. Mwah. Satnam.
Oh, I lost her. All right. I think I am back, and I lost. Oh my God. Here we go. Well, I don't know if you guys you guys can see me or not, but she probably has a session after this. So my laptop overheated and of course threw her out. Oh yes, and retrograde. Thanks, Desiree. Retrograde. So definitely, if you have please, please, please don't use them. They are the amount of EMF that went off on that machine was crazy, like 50 times what it should be. So definitely, guys, I'm telling you, throw them away. All right, love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm going on vacation until the 27th, so no videos until then. And we'll be posting some videos about the vacation. Love you guys.